Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are fine. Students, this chapter is sound all around. So let me discuss about this chapter. These are the topics which we have to cover in this chapter, sound all around. Definition of sound, vibration, how sound travels. Can sound travel through vacuum? How we hear sound, structure of human ear, amplitude, pitch, oscilloscope. These are the objectives. At the end of the lecture, you will be able to define definition of sound, vibration, how sound travels. Brainstorming. What is sound? Basically, sound is the vibration of object. Which sense is used to hear sound? Ear. Ears are the organ, ears are the sense which is used for hearing. Can you recognize person by his or her voice? Yeah, you can easily recognize a person by their voice. Here's a question. What do you mean by sound? As sound is a form of energy that travels in the form of waves, sound is caused by the vibration of objects. As you can see in the picture, when we hit the drum, membrane of the drum vibrates, producing sound. There is a guitar. When we play the guitar, the string moves to and fro, producing sound. Produced by vibrating prong of a turning fork. Okay, here is a video, students, so watch it very carefully.
Hear so many sounds in our surroundings in our daily life. When a lion roars, we hear a sound. If we pluck the string of a musical instrument, say a guitar, we hear a sound. Water pouring into a glass, bat hitting the ball, water hitting the rocks, etc. are some of the examples of different sounds. Sound plays a very important role in our life, and most importantly, it helps us to communicate with each other. Have you ever thought about what actually produces the sound? To answer this question, first we need to understand vibration. What is vibration? It is to and fro or back and forth motion of an object. For example, if we stretch this rubber band with one hand and pluck it in the middle, it starts to move back and forth. In short, it starts to vibrate. It is this vibration that produces the sound. Yes, anything that vibrates will produce sound. We will learn more about this in the next video. We know that the voice of adults and children differ. Why is it that the sounds are different? What separates the sounds? Why is it that some sounds are louder than the others? Why are some of the sounds pleasant while other ones are annoying? We will answer all these questions in the coming videos. These are the points that we are going to elaborate on in this series of videos based on sound. Vibrating bodies produce sound, medium of propagation of sound, amplitude, frequency and time period of vibration, loudness and pitch, audible and inaudible sounds, noise pollution and measures to control it. Do watch our coming videos to learn about these concepts and much more.
Okay, next question, define vibration. A vibration is a repeated backward and forward to or fro movement of particles. Basically, there are some particles. Which type of particles? Solid, liquid and gas. As the particles vibrate, some are squashed together and other are spread apart. Now watch this video about vibration.
We know that a vibration is nothing but to and fro or back and forth motion of the body. In the previous lesson, we gave the basic idea of what produces sound. It is vibration that produces sound. So if we set any body into vibration, it will give us some sound. Some vibrations we can clearly see, but some we can't. Examples? Are you familiar with this shape? What is it called? It's called a dholak. It's a two-headed drum, a musical instrument commonly used in India. When you strike any of the two flat surfaces of the dholak, they start to vibrate and produce sound. Do you know what the two flat surfaces of the dholak are called? They are called membranes. Yes, it's a membrane of a dholak which produces the sound. In musical instruments like the sitar and the guitar, it is the vibration of strings when plucked that produces the sound. These vibrations are then transferred to the soundboard, which adjusts the loudness of the sound. What about the flute? How is the sound produced? In a flute, the vibrations are produced by the air column. When we breathe into its mouth hole, the air inside the flute starts vibrating and we hear the sound. Do you hear the buzzing when a mosquito is close to your ears? Ever wondered how that sound is made? The sound is because of flapping of wings by a mosquito. Yes, the wings of mosquito are vibrating, and it's this vibration that produces the buzz we hear. Let us do one experiment. Take a string, hold both its ends in your hands like this. Stretch the string such that it does not form any curves in the middle. Now tell your friend to pluck the string from the center. Do you see the string vibrating? Yes, the string vibrates, and you'd probably have heard some sound too. Let us do one more experiment. Take a frying pan. Strike the pan with a spoon like this. Do you hear sound? Yes, you do. But do you see the pan or spoon vibrating? Not really, but you can feel the spoon vibrating in your hand. If you touch the pan immediately after the strike, you will feel that the pan is also vibrating. Wait for the vibrations to stop and then pour some water into the pan. We see that nothing happens to the water. Now strike the pan again. Do you see something strange now? These strange things are called waves. They are generated because of the vibration in the pan. So there are some vibrations that we are able to see and some vibrations that we can only feel. In this video, we saw that vibrations produce sound. But before we sign off, here are some interesting questions for you to think about. Can sound travel through solids? Or perhaps liquids? Can you think of some example in which sound travels through liquids? To find out the answers to these questions, you have to watch our next video. See you there.
Here is the next question. How does sound normally travel through gases and solid? Sound normally travels faster through solid and slowest through gases. The speed of sound in air is 330 meters per second.
You know that someone is standing outside your door when you hear the doorbell. The sound of the doorbell traveled to you. Can you guess how it traveled? It traveled through air. Yes, here the medium of propagation is air. Sound requires a medium for propagation. Is the medium always air? Not necessarily. The medium of propagation of sound can be solids, liquids, or gases. Yes, sound can also travel through solids and liquids. Before we get to that, let us see some other examples of sound propagating through air. Remember, air is nothing but a mixture of gases. Sound of the siren when the train is approaching you, sound of glass breaking, sound of the firecracker, etc. are some of the examples where the medium of propagation is air. Sound can also propagate through liquids. Let us do one experiment to see this. We place the bell in the water like this so that it does not touch the base of the container. Now keep one of your ears close to the surface of water and shake the bell inside. Do you hear the sound? Yes, you do. Here, the medium of propagation is water. What instrument does the doctor use to check the rate of your heartbeat? Yes, it's called a stethoscope. Doctors place the small disc-shaped object called a turnable diaphragm against your chest. The sound of your heartbeat travels through the tube and can be heard from the two earpieces. So can you guess the medium of propagation of sound here? Yes, here the medium of propagation is a solid. The tube through which the sound travels is the solid. Now suppose you're standing on one side of a brick wall and your friend on another side with one of his ears close to the surface of the wall. Hit the wall with some wooden object. Ask your friend if he hears the sound on the opposite side. I'm sure he will say yes. Here the medium of propagation is again a solid. So with the help of a few examples, we saw that sound can travel through solids, liquids and gases. But does it mean that sound can travel through anything and everything? The answer is resounding no. The sound cannot travel through vacuum. What is a vacuum? It is a space from where all or most of the matter is removed. Example is outer space. Yes, we cannot hear sound in outer space. That is why they say, in space, no one can hear you scream. In the next video, we are going to talk about some important properties of sound.
Okay students, this is all about today. I hope you have enjoyed today's lecture. As today we have learned about sound, vibration, as well as we have learned about that sound can travel to the state of matter, that is solid, liquid and gases. So sound can travel in 3 stages. But sound cannot travel through vacuum. Vacuum means empty space. So sound cannot travel through vacuum. But when we talk about light, so light can travel through vacuum. Light cannot travel through a state of matter. Okay students, thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.